Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and with me today is my amazing co-host, Julia.
Hey Jason, hey everyone, we're so excited to have you here with us today. If you're someone who struggles with thinking in English, then this episode is just for you.
That's right. Have you ever found yourself translating every word in your head before speaking? It slows you down, right?
Exactly. Many English learners face this problem. They think in their native language first, then try to translate into English, and by the time they're ready to speak, the moment has passed.
But don't worry. In today's episode, we're going to show you how to train your brain to think directly in English, just like a native speaker.
And trust me, once you start thinking in English, everything becomes easier. Speaking, listening, even writing.
So, if you've ever wondered how to stop translating and start thinking in English naturally, stay with us because we've got some powerful techniques to share.
Let's dive in.
All right, Julia. Let's start with the big question. Why is thinking in English so important for learners?
Great question, Jason. The truth is, if you always think in your native language first and then translate, you'll never be able to speak fluently.
Exactly. It creates a delay, right? Your brain is working twice as hard. First, it forms a sentence in your native language, then it tries to find the right English words.
And sometimes the translation doesn't even make sense.
Oh, absolutely. Like if someone translates "I am cold" word for word from another language, they might say, "I have cold," which sounds unnatural in English.
Right, and that's why thinking in English helps so much. It trains your brain to form sentences the way native speakers do without getting stuck on translation.
And let's talk about confidence. When you start thinking in English, you feel more confident because words come to you faster.
Yes, no more pausing for long seconds to translate in your head. You'll respond naturally and smoothly.
Another big reason? It improves your listening skills. If you think in English, your brain processes English conversations faster, so you understand people better.
That's so true, and not just in conversations. Even when you're watching movies or listening to music, you start recognizing words instantly instead of translating everything.
And Julia, let's not forget that thinking in English also helps with pronunciation.
Good point, because when you think in English, you start hearing the sounds in your head the way native speakers say them, which helps with speaking clearly.
So, just to summarize, thinking in English helps you speak faster, boosts your confidence, improves your listening skills, and even makes your pronunciation better.
And now you might be wondering, okay, I get why it's important, but how do I actually train my brain to think in English?
Don't worry. We're going to break it down step by step. But before that, let's talk about some common mistakes that stop people from thinking in English. Now that we understand why thinking in English is so important, let's talk about something that holds people back. Common mistakes that stop learners from training their brain to think in English.
Yes, many learners don't even realize they're making these mistakes. But once you fix them, you'll notice a big improvement in your fluency.
All right. Mistake number 1. The biggest one, relying too much on translation. If you always translate in your head before speaking, your brain never gets used to thinking in English directly.
Exactly. It's like riding a bike with training wheels forever. You need to trust your brain to form sentences naturally instead of always looking for the right translation.
And Julia, another common mistake focusing too much on grammar while thinking. A lot of learners try to make every sentence perfect in their mind before speaking, but that actually slows them down.
Oh yes, grammar is important, but if you keep stopping to check every little rule, you'll never speak naturally. Native speakers don't think about grammar rules while talking, right?
Exactly! They just speak. And guess what? Even native speakers make grammar mistakes sometimes.
That's so true. Okay, mistake number 3, fear of making mistakes. Some people are so afraid of saying something wrong that they stop themselves from thinking or speaking in English at all.
Right? But making mistakes is how we learn. The more you practice thinking in English, the better you'll get. Don't be afraid to sound imperfect. Fluency comes with practice, not perfection.
Absolutely. And another mistake that blocks thinking in English? Not surrounding yourself with English. If your daily life is full of your native language, your brain will naturally default to that language instead of English.
Great point. If you only use English in a classroom or for studying, but not in daily life, your brain won't switch to English naturally.
And that's why immersion is so important. Things like listening to English music, watching English videos, and reading in English.
Exactly. Okay, let's quickly recap. The biggest mistakes that stop you from thinking in English are 1. Relying too much on translation. 2. Overthinking grammar while forming sentences. 3. Fear of making mistakes. 4. Not surrounding yourself with enough English.
If you're making any of these mistakes, don't worry. The good news is we're going to show you how to fix them.
Yes! Up next, we'll share some powerful step-by-step strategies to help you start thinking in English naturally. All right, Julia. Now it's time for the most important part. How can learners actually train their brain to think in English?
Yes, we're going to break it down into simple, powerful steps that anyone can follow.
Perfect. Let's start with step 1. Name things around you in English.
Oh, I love this one. It's such an easy habit to build. Just look around you and say the names of objects in English. For example, if you're in your room, think bed, window, lamp, phone.
Exactly. And to take it further, you can describe what's happening. Like, instead of just thinking cup, you can think, I am drinking coffee from my cup.
Yes, this helps your brain connect everyday life with English, making it more natural over time.
All right. Step 2. Talk to yourself in English. It might feel strange at first, but it's one of the best ways to start thinking in English.
Yes, you can do this anywhere, when you're cooking, getting dressed, or walking outside. Just describe what you're doing in simple English, like, I'm putting on my shoes. It's a sunny day.
And the great thing is, there's no pressure, because you're just talking to yourself.
Exactly. And if you're worried about making mistakes, don't be. No one is listening. It's just you training your brain to use English naturally.
Great! Now, step 3, use an English-to-English dictionary.
Oh, this is a game changer. Many learners still use dictionaries that translate words into their native language. But switching to an English-to-English dictionary helps you think in English instead of translating.
Right. For example, if you don't know the word excited, instead of translating it to your native language, look it up in an English dictionary where it says, feeling very happy and eager. That way, your brain connects words in English, not another language.
Exactly, and it improves your vocabulary naturally.
All right, next step 4, think in simple sentences first.
Yes, many learners try to think in complex sentences too soon, and that makes them feel stuck. Instead, start with short, simple thoughts.
Like instead of thinking, I should go to the store because I need to buy some vegetables for dinner, just start with, I need vegetables.
Yes, once you get comfortable, your sentences will naturally get longer over time.
All right, let's move on to step 5. Have an English inner voice.
Oh, I love this one. Instead of thinking in your native language, try to have a little conversation in English in your head. For example, if you're planning your day, think, what should I do first? Maybe I'll start with breakfast.
Yes, this is like turning your thoughts into an English dialogue. It's one of the fastest ways to start thinking in English without effort.
And you can even ask yourself questions in English, like, how do I feel today? Or what should I wear?
That's a great habit. And finally, step 6, surround yourself with English.
Yes, the more you expose yourself to English, the more natural it becomes. Listen to English podcasts, watch English videos, and read books or articles in English.
That's right. The more English you hear, the more your brain starts thinking in English automatically.
So let's quickly recap the 6 steps to train your brain to think in English. 1. Name things around you in English. 2. Talk to yourself in English. 3. Use an English-to-English dictionary. Think in simple sentences first. 5. Have an English inner voice. Surround yourself with English.
These steps will help you stop translating and start thinking in English naturally.
Yes, and the best part? You can start practicing these today.
Up next, we'll talk about daily exercises you can do to make thinking in English a permanent habit. All right, Julia, we've talked about strategies to start thinking in English. But now, let's take it one step further. How can learners practice this every day and make it a habit?
Yes, because just knowing the techniques isn't enough. You need to practice consistently to train your brain to think in English naturally.
Exactly. So, let's share some simple daily exercises that will help learners develop this skill. First, start and end your day with English thoughts. The moment you wake up, try to describe your plans for the day in English.
Yes, instead of thinking in your native language, say in your mind, "Today is Monday. I have a meeting at 10 a.m. I will have lunch with my friend."
And at night, do the same. Review your day in English before sleeping. Think, what did I do today? Did I enjoy it?
This helps your brain switch to English mode at the beginning and end of the day.
The second daily practice, set a no translation rule for at least 30 minutes a day.
Oh, I love this one. For those 30 minutes, challenge yourself to only think in English. No translating allowed.
Yes, it might be difficult at first, but even if you struggle, just try. The more you practice, the easier it gets.
Next, try to talk to yourself in English out loud for a few minutes every day.
Right. Just like we mentioned earlier, describe what you're doing. You can say, "I'm making tea. It smells so good. I will drink it while reading a book."
The key is to make English part of your daily routine, even if no one is around to listen.
Another great way to practice? Use English while doing simple activities like cooking, driving, or exercising.
Yes. Instead of letting your mind wander, focus on thinking in English. If you're going for a walk, you can think, "The weather is nice today. The sky is blue. I feel relaxed."
And finally, keep a simple English journal. Write down your thoughts, what happened during your day, or even your goals in English.
This is a great way to track your progress, and don't worry about grammar. Just focus on expressing yourself in English.
All right, let's quickly summarize these daily exercises. 1. Start and end your day in English. Set a no translation rule for at least 30 minutes a day. 3. Talk to yourself aloud in English. Use English during simple activities. Keep an English journal.
If you do these small exercises every day, thinking in English will become automatic over time.
That's right. Up next, we'll talk about how to stay motivated and consistent in your English thinking practice. All right, Julia. We've talked about how to practice thinking in English every day. But let's be honest, learners will face challenges along the way.
Absolutely. It's normal to struggle, but the key is to overcome these challenges instead of giving up.
So, let's go over 3 common challenges and how to solve them. One of the biggest struggles is that learners naturally think in their native language first. Then, they try to translate into English.
Yes, and that slows everything down. The solution? Be patient and practice small English thoughts first. Instead of full sentences, start with just words or phrases.
Right. And using an English-to-English dictionary instead of translating words can also help your brain stay in English mode.
Another challenge is feeling stuck because you don't know the right words. This can be frustrating.
It happens to everyone. But instead of stopping, try to describe the word with simple English. For example, if you forget the word refrigerator, you can think a cold box where I keep food.
That's a great tip. The goal is to keep thinking in English even when you don't know every word.
Now, this one is tough. Many learners feel like they're not making progress and they lose motivation.
Yes, but the truth is, progress is slow and you might not notice it right away. The best solution? Track your progress.
Exactly. Keep a small journal, record your voice, or even talk to yourself in front of a mirror. A few weeks later, you'll see the difference.
The most important thing is to stay patient and keep going. Thinking in English is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time.
That's right. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Just keep practicing. And soon, English thinking will feel natural. Wow, Julia! We've covered so many great strategies today. Thinking in English is a journey, but with the right mindset and daily practice, anyone can do it.
Absolutely. Remember, start small, be consistent, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. The more you practice, the easier it will become.
Now, to all our listeners, what's one tip from today's episode that you're going to try first? Let us know in the comments or share your experience with us.
And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our